Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome. And this is Purshottam. In this video, I am going to talk about what is Veeam Data Cloud for Microsoft 365. But before that, let me introduce about me. So I am Purshottam. I have 18 years of experience in IT. I have worked with multiple OEMs like Commvault, VMware, NetApp, and now I'm working with Veeam. Apart from that, I'm a best-selling author and a coach. Recently, my book has been launched last year. It has become a bestseller, and this book is gaining popularity all across the world, right? So, this is a brief about me. And in my past time, I coach people. In my spare time, in the weekends, I coach people. I help them transform in their life. I help them transform their career, and if they have some problems related to their personal, professional lives, I help them. And I am on a mission to transform the life of 1 million people. This is my dream, this is my passion, this is my mission, and I'm on it. So, this is about me. Now, let me give you a perspective. Since we have talked about Microsoft 365, and when we talk about Microsoft 365, I must give you a perspective that just like the metros and the local trains and any trains and any transport medium of any country, any city, Microsoft 365 is the lifeline of an organization. किसी भी organization के लिए Microsoft 365 lifeline है. Why? Just like we travel in the train, we go from one location to another location, one city to another city. In the same fashion, Microsoft 365 users can communicate with each other, can share their thoughts, can collaborate with each other, can share the files, folders, and so many things. What if Microsoft 365 or mails stop working? Then you would not be able to communicate with the people, neither inside the organization nor outside the organization, right? And what could be the possible reasons behind that? The reasons can be maybe an outage at Microsoft 365 and some data corruption. कुछ भी हो सकता है. You got my point, right? So just like trains and metros are the lifeline of a country, in the similar fashion, M365, Microsoft 365 as a mailing application is the lifeline for an organization. Now, we all know that M365 is a SaaS service, software as a service. So, in software as a service, what happens is everything is delivered as a software through a cloud service provider, and that's it. But, but when we say software as a service applications, there comes shared responsibility. Just imagine that you are on a vacation and you go to a hotel, a luxury hotel, a five-star hotel, where you get all the amenities. You get a nice bed, you get delicious food, you get towels, you get a swimming pool, all the amenities you can assume. All those amenities have been provided in the luxury hotel. But does it mean that you will keep your valuables unattended, or maybe you will keep your laptop or wallet, or maybe your watch or mobile phone unattended. The answer is no. कभी भी आप अपनी कीमती चीजें, कीमती सामान छोड़कर नहीं जाएंगे, कितनी भी सिक्योरिटी हो, डिस्पाइट ऑफ सो मेनी सिक्योरिटी गार्ड, सो मेनी सिक्योरिटी कैमरास इन प्लेस, you will not leave your valuable items unattended. And that is the same case with SaaS applications. Just like if you are traveling, if you are living in a hotel, your valuables are your responsibilities. In the same fashion, on a SaaS application, your data is your responsibility. You cannot deny that fact that the cloud service provider or the SaaS application provider is going to take the responsibility of my data as well. There is a misconception around that. So we must be very careful when we are dealing with SaaS applications. And just to give you a perspective, again, another perspective, not every time it is end user's mistake. Admins are also human. I am repeating, not every time it is end user's mistake. Admins are also human, which means that many a time admins can also make the mistake. Suppose your Microsoft 365 data, or maybe a mailbox, or maybe some email or file folders are missing. Not necessarily that was done because of the mistake of an end user. Your administrators can also be mistaken. They can also make mistakes. And exactly this was happened with KPMG. What happened with KPMG is one of the administrators was trying to change a policy for maybe a Teams chat for one particular user. And he changed the chat retention from 1 week to 1 day or maybe 2 days. And he hit the enter button and boom. He didn't realize that he was changing that retention for entire 145,000 users Teams chat. Those users were in a single group, and that's how each and every user's chat history got deleted and they lost the data. And there was no method, no mechanism to restore those chats back. Then they realized the importance of the backup. You must not confuse between backup and retention. With backup, you can retain multiple copies of your data, multiple versions of your data. But Microsoft, people like Microsoft, or maybe any service provider, if they are giving you retention, maybe 90 days retention in case of Microsoft, or maybe unlimited retention, they are only keeping the data, which is the production data, only one copy they are going to keep, right? Someone can object me that Purushottam, Microsoft 365 is giving me litigation hold where I can hold my data forever, for lifetime. So my data is safe. But my counter to them is what happens if there is some corruption in your data? Maybe your data get encrypted via ransomware attack. There is no meaning to keep that one copy of data within your repository for so long when you are not able to access that data. आप जब डेटा एक्सेस ही नहीं कर पाएंगे तो उसको लॉन्ग टर्म रिटेन करके फायदा क्या? दैट्स व्हाट माय पॉइंट इज. दैट इज व्हाई we strongly recommend to have a backup copy in place, a backup software, which is going to keep multiple version of your data in an isolated environment so that if your production is down, you can anytime go back to your backup copies and restore your operations back to normal. And these are certain studies which say that 80% of vulnerabilities discovered involve M365 data. 53% have experienced data loss or corruption in SaaS applications in last 1 year. And out of them, only 25% were able to recover all the data, the complete data. That is the problem. That is a big problem. How will you ensure that your data is intact from corruption? Corruption can happen at any point. That is why we need a, a robust solution to protect M365 data, right? So, why we need M365 backup? For data protection. If at all your organization is following certain regulatory compliances, then it is also required. Business continuity. Something goes wrong in your production environment, you must be able to recover your data from the backup repository. And you must be also able to make the granular recovery of your data. Single file, single folder, one email, you must be able to recover as and when required. And last is long-term retention. Your backup must be holding the data for long term, maybe 5 years, 10 years, 7 years, whatever. How Veeam can solve your problem? We can solve the problem in such a way that is shown in this picture. We can transform your worried picture to a happy picture. We can transform you from a worried admin to a happy admin with our solution. And let me talk about the solution. What is the solution basically? The solution is formed on the strong foundation of Microsoft Azure and Microsoft 365. Over and above, we have deployed our SaaS offering, backup as a service solution, which is known as Veeam Data Cloud for M365. Now, what we are doing here is we are reducing the complexity. Our solution is very simple. I will explain in the next slide. It is a secure by design architecture, and each and everything is inclusive and predictable. So there won't be any shock in terms of billing. I will explain more. Next is it gives you resilient data protection in a very simple way. It is built upon trusted industry leading technology. The UI is very modern, very intuitive, and very secure, and everything is included. So Let me explain all these 3 points one by one. The solution is an industry leading solution. Why? Because Veeam has a gold partnership with Microsoft. From last 10 to 15 years, we have been backing up Microsoft 365 mailboxes, and we have protected 20 million plus M365 users. So this is something which is a decade of innovation, continuous innovation. We are the key M365 backup partner for Microsoft, and we are certified for Microsoft Teams. Now, when I say everything is included, on the left hand side, the infra part is there. Infra operations and automation part is there. So the Veeam server, the proxies, the unlimited storage, over and above the network operations, infrastructure management, maintenance, patching, updating, and network security, everything is taken care by Veeam. You are only responsible for your data. For that, you need to create the backup policies. You need to have the RBAC kind of thing, role-based access you must be having. You can use MFA, and as and when you need, you can restore your data and you can make a discovery, just like we discover our data in Google. It is very simple. So it is basically set it and forget it approach where everything is automated. You just create the backup policies, you define the retention period, and then you are done. Everything is taken care by Veeam. You can also connect your existing SIM tools with the solution to get the log analytics. You can restrict your users, basically the admins, to operate this platform with the help of predefined IP ranges. I will explain you in the demo session. And the UI is very simple and secure. A junior admin can also perform all the operations. Within 15 minutes, 10 to 15 minutes, you are up and running. You can store your data on your preferred choice of cloud storage, your region. So it is basically using the, the repositories of Azure, which are object-based repositories at the backend, right? You can apply the policies, you can apply MFA, RBAC, and the data is encrypted and worm protected. Data is immutable. These are some main features of VDC. So it will give you comprehensive backup and recovery. You can take the backup of your Microsoft Teams, M365 email, and SharePoint, Teams chat, OneDrive, everything. You can take the backup. So the solution is very comprehensive. As and when required, you can restore particular individual files, folders, Teams chat, as well as one individual email. You have flexible storage options available. You can define the storage retention. You can define which region you choose for your which region you choose as a data repository on Azure. Data security is there, as I mentioned, that data is encrypted in flight and at rest. Data is worm protected, it is immutable, and over and above, we provide automation and orchestration. So once you created all the policies, you are done. Everything is happening in an automated fashion. Scalability is there. You can retain your data for unlimited time period. Unlimited storage is provided. And last but not the least is user-friendly interface. These are the key features of VDC by Veeam to protect M365 environment. And these are three key advantages. So nobody is going to give you unlimited storage for your data backup. 7 years of data retention is there, and the deployment is very simple. As I mentioned, within 10 minutes, you are up and running, right? So that is all about Veeam VDC backup for M365. And let me show you a quick demo within 1 minute. So as I mentioned that for any organization, their mails are their lifelines. And as a user or as an organization owner or as an IT stakeholder, you must be worried about the data protection of your emails. So for a solution which is protecting M365, the primary feature must be to protect their emails. That must be the prime feature. And exactly that is what I am going to show you here. So this is the Veeam console for M365 backup. And when I click on Outlook, I can see here, this is the organization name where all the email, all the email accounts or the user accounts are listed, right? And you can see here, this is a calendar. These are nothing but the restore points. You can restore the data to any backdate. These many restore points are there. So these are multiple versions which are available so that you as an administrator get the freedom to restore the data at any point of time, right? And if I click on this button, include items deleted by the users. So if at all any user deletes an item, an email, that item will be recovered back from the backup. Now let me select one email, right? Maybe this email I have selected, email box I have selected, and this is of Mr. Nipun. In here, we can see that there are emails. And by the way, uh, during the configuration, if you do not want your admin to allow to see the emails of particular users or maybe the entire users, then you can also apply that policy, right? Let me check why it is not working for me. So maybe that there was some problem with the earlier email box. This email box I'm showing you, this is Nipun text email box, and there are certain mails. What I can do here is I can select on any email and restore the selected item. I can also restore the entire email box. When I click on restore the selected item, I can restore it on original location, on other users mailbox, or maybe I can download it on my local computer, right? I can also create the PST of entire email entire mailbox, right? So just like I am clicking here and I clicked here, download. This mail will be downloaded in my system and I can anytime click on it and open it, right? This mail is downloaded. I can open and check. Similarly, in the same fashion, you can take the backup of OneDrive, SharePoint, and Team. You can see here, these are the OneDrives. We can restore the individual files and folders as well. Not only the entire OneDrive, but also the individual files and folder in the same fashion. Just I showed you for email. These are the option: original location, other user, OneDrive, local computer, download in the background. If the large objects are there, then you can go for this option. SharePoint, Teams, in the similar fashion, you can take the backup. Now let me show you a dashboard. This is the dashboard which shows what is the backup status, how many users are there, how many unprotected accounts are there, what is the retention. So you can see here the target is 10 years, and currently we have exhausted 3 years, 9 months, 29 days. Retention started 28th of May 2021. What are the license activities happening? How many licenses are active? How many are inactive? How many protected and how many unprotected licenses are there? How much storage we have used? Who are the top users consuming most of the storage, right? And what all activities are going on? You can see here, I have restored one item. So these activities are listed here, right? This is the dashboard. Now, when I click on settings, in the settings, if I click on system, I can define the backup repositories. I can add the backup repository. I can create the policies. I can give a name, yearly, daily, whatever policy I want to create, I can create. So here you can see the retention period. You can keep it unlimited for unlimited time. You can select the region of your choice, right? These many policies are already there. 10 year, 1 year, 7 year, all these policies are there, right? Then we can define the access. Depending on the IP ranges, we can give the access to the IP ranges. We can enable the users to log in through only these particular IP address ranges. Then you can configure the mail IDs for notifications, correct? Then click on billing. From here, you can get an understanding about how many licenses you are consuming over a period of 30 days, 14 days, 90 days, right? Right? How many license users we have. You can export it to CSV. Then from here, you can set the roles. Administrator has complete access. Each and everything is provided to the administrator. Then you can restrict the roles depending on the user profiles. Maybe some of the users you want to give backup access, they can take the backup only. Some of them can only restore. So you can define accordingly as per your company policy. You can add a new role from here. Again, coming to reports, backup summary report is there. Mailbox protection report is there. You can generate the reports and you can get all the details for a particular point in time. Clicking on backup policies. From here, you can create a backup policy. Click on new backup policy, give a name, maybe test, then select the region and the repository. These are the policies which you just saw when I was on the setting tab, right? So suppose I have taken this policy, this repository policy, clicked on next, backup entire organization or exclude some items from the backup, or backup the following objects. Maybe M365 I have selected and I only selected these four mailboxes. Also, within these four mailboxes, I want to unselect OneDrive for these two users and personal sites for these two users. And if I click on OK, the policy will be created. If I click create, you can include, exclude whatever you want to do, right? This is how we can create the policies. Now, this is a feature of search, just like a Google search. If you click on advanced search, you can find very particular files, folders, or an item of your choice. You have multiple choices to filter out your data. You can create a filter, right? You can configure the condition, right? Just all fields, common fields, message, value, you can accordingly you can set a value, and these many filters are there. You can see here. These many filters are there, right? And you can choose here if this field is exactly this, which value you have mentioned here is not, contains, does not contain. And then you click on, maybe you select Nipun as email or first name, and you can add to list. You can click on add to list and start search. So it will start searching, right? When you click on notification, so all the notifications about your backup infra, about the activities which are happening are reflected here. And you can click on activity log as well. In settings, you can also you can also, as I mentioned, you can also connect your VDC M365 with with a SIM tool of your choice, right? It must be there in this particular segment. I do not know why it is not reflecting. Yeah, it is reflecting here. So you can add a syslog server from here so that entire logs can be pulled out and you can further do log analytics using your SIM tool. All right. These are SSL certificates. You can upload a custom certificate, right? Backup repositories, I already explained about, and reporting, I already explained about. Now, this is my profile, my preferences, right? These are all the things which I wanted to talk about Veeam VDC for M365 Backup. I hope you have enjoyed the video. Just let me know, just share your thoughts with me so that I can help you with your questions and your doubts. I will keep on posting these videos and I will try to keep them as simple as possible by giving the real time examples. So thank you very much. This is Purushottam. I'm your coach, I'm your mentor. Do like and subscribe. Do share my videos to ones who need the help. Thank you so much. This is Purushottam signing off.